out this weekend, directed by Todd Phillips. Yes, that Todd Phillips who directed the Hangover movies. It stars Miles Teller, Jonah Hill, Bradley Cooper, and some other people. Based on a true story. This guy, played by Miles Teller, his name is David. He's kind of in a bunch of dead-end jobs. Then he runs into an old friend of his, played by Jonah Hill. This old friend of his is involved with arms dealing and guns and military contract. They team up and they decide to work together. The more they work together, the more dangerous the arms dealing situation that they're involved in gets, and pretty soon they just get knee deep into some shit. On my way to go see this movie, it was sunny outside, and then the clouds opened up on my way over there, and I basically got fist fucked by Poseidon and Aquaman. I didn't just get wet, I got violated. It was pouring down. I felt like I was being waterboarded. So if this movie had sucked, I'm pretty sure that this review might be a rant instead of an actual review. Good thing though, the movie was actually pretty good. I thought the cast in this movie did a really good job. Jonah Hill was like the biggest star in the movie. Everything he says, everything he does, scene to scene to scene, you want to see more of what this guy does. He's a complete dick. He says things that people don't usually say to other people. He has this kind of attract and repel quality to him, and I thought this was one of Jonah Hill's better performances. Miles Teller also gave a great performance. He is proof that he should not be labeled for the rest of his career for fan-forstic, alright? This guy is a pretty solid actor. He's us. He's the one who we're seeing the story through his eyes. He's like the normal guy who gets caught into a dangerous situation, and then the situation just keeps escalating as bigger deals get made and bigger, arms deal shit starts happening. He's the normal guy, and we root for him. He has this girlfriend in the movie that we care about that. I thought that Miles Teller and Jonah Hill worked really well together. I thought they had great chemistry. I thought that the way their banter back and forth, the way they played off of each other, I thought a lot of that was pretty cool. Also, Bradley Cooper is in this movie. I don't know if people knew that or what, or if it's a spoiler or not, or spoiler alert, Bradley Cooper's in the movie. He's not in the movie much, but you walk away going, man, Bradley Cooper was pretty damn good in the scenes that he was in. Only like 10 minutes, so nothing to get too excited about. In the end, this is also an intriguing story. It's a story that you can follow. It's a story that you're interested in while you're watching it. I like stylistically some choices that Todd Phillips made in terms of the dialogue, and also in terms of the way the movie's broken up. The movie damn near is almost like it's broken into chapters, and each chapter is like a quote that a character says. Like the title of the chapter is a quote a character will say during the chapter. I thought that was pretty cool. Not to rain on its parade, no pun intended, but the movie does have some issues. Number one, I feel like the movie's not as funny as it could have been. The trailer that I saw for this movie, most of the jokes is in the trailer. The movie itself, for a movie that is directed by Todd Phillips, who has a great track record with comedy, and starring Jonah Hill, who's been in a lot of funny-ass movies, the movie is not as funny as you want it to be. As it stands, if you saw the trailer, you pretty much saw most of the funny moments in the movie, and that was kind of disappointing. There's a few moments, but there's not really that kind of moment, and that kind of sucks. It's just a nitpick, but it is something that I noticed while watching the movie. The movie is narrated basically by Miles Teller, and while that works at first, I kind of felt like it got a little bit exposition heavy in some parts, where I feel like every single scene or chapter that this movie was broken down into, Miles Teller basically had to explain things to the audience in a lot of scenes, and that did kind of grind my gears a little bit towards the end of the movie. Another thing is, I think the pacing for this movie suffers a bit. Like, whenever the movie is building up towards this big deal, or it's building up towards this big arms deal, shady business type shit, the movie gets really interesting, and then the movie just kind of gets really slow and boring for a while. There's a lot of montages, scenes that really only feel like they're there to make the movie longer. And then the movie picks back up again, and then it's really exciting, and then it just goes way back down again. This is literally the lifeline of the pacing in this movie.
Excitement, boring. Excitement, boring. Excitement, boring.
It works if it's a heartbeat on a machine that's keeping you alive, but for the pacing for a movie, I just kind of felt like that shit could have been handled better. In the end, guys, War Dogs is not going to blow anybody away. It didn't blow me away, but it did make the walk through the rain to the movie theater a little bit worth it. It's got good characters. It's got good chemistry between Jonah Hill and Miles Teller. It's got a good story. The movie is a solid, entertaining movie that I feel like could have been a little bit more entertaining than it actually was marketed as being in the trailers. I think that it is definitely a Man of Steel worthy movie. Alright guys, that's my review of War Dogs. Hope you go check that out this weekend. Thank you, Kryptonians. As always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.